Cam, do you want to give a bit of an intro to yourself, to the Tim family that might not know who you are?
Sure, Jaden, but before we begin, I want to just let you know that every single time you do one of these interviews, you use the same intro. So next time you do one of these interviews, I want to make sure you use a slightly different intro. G'day guys, my name's Cam Upshall. I'm the founder and head of product here at Tim. Super excited. Jaden is one of the consultants here, and apparently we're spending this time getting to know me a little bit and going through the origin story. So pumped up.
Perfect. Well, touching on that, do you want to share the bit of the origin story? Being here since the beginning and the ideation of Tim,
Yep.
do you want to share with the users and the potential people out there that are going to come to the launch event?
Ooh, yeah.
What was the idea around Tim at the very beginning?
So Tim started in July last year, and the brief that I received back then from one of the founders, Steve Hooker, who I know you guys have met through a video already,
Yep.
was that he wanted to build a budgeting app.
Right.
So what we did, the product team and our development team, is we did a whole bunch of user interviews, and we tested and we asked people, you know, is building a budgeting app a good idea? What we quickly found out is it's actually a terrible idea. Sorry, Steve-O. But budgeting is like, it's like a dirty word. It's like a New Year's resolution, right?
Right.
People do it all the time. They fail at it. It's restrictive in nature.
Yep.
And it's just got this really, really bad connotation to it. The way I sort of describe it to people is it's like a New Year's resolution, right? Everyone tries it. Everyone fails at it.
Yep.
And it's the worst thing in the world.
Yep.
It's like dieting.
Got you.
Everyone hates it.
Everyone does hate it.
Yeah. So what happened through the last sort of 12 months is we've gone through an iterative process of talking to you people out there, the guys and the users that have been on the wait list for Tim for a while now, and worked out, again, budgeting was a terrible idea.
Yep.
What is the opposite of budgeting? Coaching, positive reinforcement.
Yep.
So what the team did is we spent a lot of time with Steve, picking his brain. For those who don't know, Steve's an Olympic gold medalist. He won gold in the pole vault at the Beijing Olympics.
2008.
I basically said to Steve-O, what do the best coaches in the world look like?
Right.
What do they do? How do they work? What are they all about?
What's the framework they use?
Yeah, what's the framework?
Correct.
Which is the coaching framework that's now popped out of Tim. A sort of infamous workshop internally. Steve basically put out of his brain onto a whiteboard just what the best coaches in the world do.
Right.
I took a photo of it, and then we basically spent the next
Turning that into software.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The next 8 months turning that into what's now Tim,
Yep.
and the sort of infamous coaching framework that sits behind him. So it's taken inspiration from some of the best coaches in the world. Obviously, all of Steve's experience as being an elite athlete.
Yep.
Now applied to helping people just like you with their financial goals, their aspirations, whether it's retiring early, getting into your first home, saving for that special thing.
Yep.
And it's all done not through restrictive budgeting type nature,
Yep.
but through positive reinforcement
And coaching.
and guiding through.
Perfect.
So,
You kind of touched on it there, that 8 months after all of that work of going from the budgeting to the coaching. What does that 8 months look like? Because there would have been some people in the beta that would have seen the early version of Tim,
Yeah.
and now they're seeing this version of Tim. Do you want to kind of elaborate on that 8 months and what it's got up to now?
yeah, so those who have seen some of the early Tim advertising or some of the early Tim landing pages or some of the early Tim versions, Tim was a little guy, he's about a little tiny guy with glasses on, and he was a male. What we found out through our research, through talking to our users, is a male did not, it didn't fit with the whole sort of demographic of the user base.
Fair.
We attracted a lot of male population to the wait list.
Yep.
So, you know, we want to help everyone equally, males and females. So what we basically did is we turned Tim into a nondescript, some call it a cube, some call it a flower, not quite sure.
We'll evolve.
It's a nondescript, it's a non-human.
Yeah, we're following off that Siri base, is that correct?
Yeah, look, I mean, Tim's not AI, right?
No.
Let's not get it out there. But Tim has an interesting personality. He's not a male, he's not a female, he's just an it. So he's a machine, but he's not afraid to say that. He's not afraid to talk about that. So we've moved from a little caricature of a little guy with glasses to now this really, really cool logo and design that the smart guys here have put together. So again, we followed the data, we looked at what you guys wanted being our user base, and we've created the logo and Tim for you.
Awesome. So now that we've kind of gone through all of that, the release of the app is in a few days' time.
Yeah,
and it's
coming
soon.
Super soon.
What can people expect? What type of impact are we expecting Tim to have on people's financials, saving habits, wanting to get into a first home, wanting to travel at the same time?
Yep.
What impact is it going to have on all of this?
Okay, so as I said, it's all about positive reinforcement and guiding and coaching people to be able to achieve their goals. So Tim's like your trusted coach in your pocket.
Gotcha.
He's always there. He's always going to be giving you encouragement. He's going to be challenging you to do things. He's going to be checking on you throughout your week to see how you're feeling and see how you're going with those challenges. And that's really the basis of the coaching framework, right? So that's really what you're going to expect. When the link comes out in the next few days, it is coming. Those guys that have been on the wait list for a while, it's coming, trust me. We're days away. That's really what Tim's going to do. Gotcha. He's going to talk to you. He's going to be a little bit cheeky. He's going to ask you about what your goals are, who you are as a person, what you want to achieve, what your impediments are getting in your way, and then he's going to take you through a financial coaching framework inspired by elite sports, elite sports coaching to help you achieve those goals and aspirations. So you know, he's your trusted little guy in your pocket. Trust him. He's going to be funny. He's going to make you laugh. But most importantly, he's going to help you achieve those financial goals.
Awesome. Well, for the people that have been on the wait list and kind of getting some information from us, some people might know that there's a launch event for Tim on December 6th.
Right.
Do you want to share a little bit more about what people can expect from this once-in-a-lifetime event?
Okay. So yes, it's been a long time coming.
It has.
The launch event, right. So the launch event is going to be out at our partner Tick Homes. So they've revolutionised the first home ownership journey.
Gotcha.
So it's a really phenomenal space. A total sensory experience. They like project a whole house onto the floor inside this warehouse. It's a really, really good experience. We've just finished negotiating. We're going to be giving away a $10,000 luxury escapes voucher, which is pretty cool. We're going to have one of those massive checks, which I've never had to give away before, but I'm pretty pumped about giving one of those away. And we've also got, I think it's like $100
$100 per person that attends.
$100. So you just rock up. We're going to give you a $100 voucher to Luxury Escapes.
That's great.
And if you're there, you go in a chance to win $10,000, which is just crazy.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not across a lot of the other details of what's going on. I know there's food trucks involved.
There's food trucks. There's free booze.
There's free booze,
which is everyone wants.
It's going to be like a festival environment, a festival atmosphere. And look, there's just going to be a bunch of people from industry, from Tim users, from business people. All the Tim team is going to be there. We've got some of the best experienced people in Melbourne actually putting this event together. So I'm super pumped and I'm super excited. You're all going to get lots of calls and phone calls and emails and texts and videos and all sorts of stuff from Jaden. He's there to make sure that you all have a phenomenal experience with the event. If you want to win the $10,000, you have to be there to win it on the night. So make sure you guys are there if you're keen to come.
Which is super exciting.
Super exciting.
Super exciting. Especially for us who've been part of it for so long.
Oh man, it's so good. I can't wait.
So December 6th is the date. There is a link below if you want to register your name and reserve a spot. There are limited spots on the guest list, so make sure you do reserve your name on there. And we are super excited to have you part of the Tim family and hopefully hosting you on the event on December 6th.
Thanks guys.